Good afternoon, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I will determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the charges against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today. That is your bail, your bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint a lawyer from the public defender's office to represent you today. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there are 2 assistant state attorneys in the courtroom with me this afternoon. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, none but the truth? Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. Mr. Church, I assume we have these 2 cases.
Yep, just 2, Your Honor.
So we'll start
Anacaro and Lawrence.
Michael Anacaro. He's already in jail without bond, right?
That's correct, Your Honor. We just asked for a GPS order to attach to this one as well.
All right, Mr. Anacaro, what's your date of birth?
January 15, 1970.
All right. Mr. Anacaro, the charges today are 17 counts of possession of child pornography. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I need a public defender, Your Honor.
Appoint the public defender. All right. And he is already going back on the 9th. Is that right on all of these? He's got something for the 27th.
27th of January.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Church, where do you want him?
We can put him on the 27th.
27th? Okay. All right. We'll leave the bonds per the schedule, which is the $2,000 each count. It's a total of $34,000 with the condition if you were able to bond out. You'd be subject to GPS monitoring at your expense and have no contact with anyone under the age of 18. So we'll send these back to court on the 27th of January where your other cases are, and the public defender will come see you before that, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. And Derek Lawrence. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
4/30 of 1982.
Derek, we have a charge today promoting a sexual performance by a child. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I already have a public defender.
I'm going to appoint the PD. I assume he's also on no bond right now. Is that
It's either no bond or really high bond.
really high? Okay. Because a couple of these other charges are capital crimes.
Yes.
I assumed. Yes. Okay. And where do you want him going back? Looks like 127 as well.
Is that what his next
That's when he's set, yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. That's fine.
All right. So, Mr. Lawrence, I'll leave the bond for the schedule on this one, which is $5,000 with the condition of GPS monitoring at your expense. Should you be able to bond out, we'll move it to the 27th of January, where your other cases are. PD will be out to see you, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That concludes my business, Your Honor. If I could
Yes. Mr. Church, have a good day. I'll fill this out later. Okay, Audrey Delgado. Afternoon, Audrey. What's your date of birth?
10/27/84.
All right, Audrey, I have 2 counts of defrauding a pawnbroker and 2 counts of dealing in stolen property. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
A public defender,
I'll
please.
appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
An action was dropped in May for driving while license suspended here in Hernando. There was a violation of pretrial release in 2010, battery, second offense, and tampering with a witness in 2008, resisting or obstructing an officer without violence in 2008, criminal mischief in 2008, resisting an officer obstructing without violence in 2007, possession of paraphernalia and providing false aid to law enforcement 2006, battery in 2006, battery in 2005, felony battery or domestic battery by strangulation in 2001, and that's what I'm showing at this time.
Audrey, I have an address for you on Powell Road. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
Almost 4 years.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
Not really, no.
Okay. How long have you been since you worked full time?
Probably over a year.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $2,000 on each of the 4 counts. That's a total of $8,000. You'll be back in court on the 15th of January. If you get out, it's very important that you contact the public defender as soon as you can, okay?
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Michelle Loria. Afternoon, Michelle. What's your date of birth?
6/26/86.
Michelle, first charge I have is a retail theft. There's probable cause for that. Then I have a warrant that I signed. Apparently it failed to appear in my court on a charge of petty theft. And then a warrant that Judge Merritt signed where he apparently failed to appear on a charge of uttering forged bills. So there's probable cause for all those cases. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD.
Um,
As to Judge Merritt's warrant, the bond on that one, he set at $5,000. I can't change that one. That's coming back on January 7th. They may have told you the 15th. The right date is the 7th. And then state, what's her history like as far as these misdemeanors?
She has these open cases. She did have a battery charge that she picked up in October of this year that was dropped in November here in Hernando as well. I was showing on that first, one of the FTAs, which would be the misdemeanor FTA, she was on PTI and they got rejected because she was picking
Picked
up
up the
new
new
crimes.
charges. Okay.
But I'm showing this is her history.
Okay.
She, again,
So Michelle, I have an address for you on Salisbury Drive in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
yes.
How long have you been there?
A year and almost 2 years.
Do you have a job these days?
I just lost my job.
Okay. What were you doing?
I was a bartender.
Okay. All right. So on the 2 misdemeanors, the FTA and the new charge, I'll set your bond at $500 on each of those, so that the total is $5,000 on the felony case, $1,000 on the misdemeanors. The total is $6,000. On the misdemeanors, you'll be back in court on January 15th, and on the felony on January 7th. If you get out, very important that you contact the public defender right away. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Clarissa Sutter. Afternoon, Miss Sutter. What's your date of birth?
And 5/2/77.
All right, Miss Sutter, I got 2 charges today: resisting without violence and disposing of lighted substances. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Appoint the PD. State any history.
showing a DUI in Pasco in 2016. I don't have the disposition, and a withhold for concealing information to obtain a prescription in 2012 in Pasco.
Okay. Clarissa, I have an address for you on Greenview Ave in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been there?
3 years.
You have a job these days?
No, I'm on disability.
Okay. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, Clarissa, on both charges, so they're going to let you out today. I'll have you back in court on January 15th. Very important that you contact the public defender's office before you go to court, okay?
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Brenda Zimmerman? Afternoon, Brenda. Date of birth?
4/28/76.
Brenda, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Barbie. He found probable cause for 3 charges. Possession of methamphetamine, sale of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire a private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll point to PD, state what you tell me.
Showing adjudication for battery in 2018 out of Hernando. An action was dropped for burglary of a dwelling, 2016 out of Hernando. Adjudication for sale, manufacture, deliver, or possession with intent of controlled substance, 2 counts in 2015 out of Hernando. An action was dropped in 2012 for petty theft out of Hernando. Adjudication, 2 counts possession of a controlled substance and petty theft in 2013 out of Hernando. An action was dropped for petty theft and fraudulent use of identification information 2011 out of Hernando. Violation of an injunction 2010. I'm sorry, that looks like it was dropped. Also out of Hernando.
That's probably good. Brenda, got an address for you on Ruth Street. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
About 15 years.
All right. You got a job these days?
No, sir.
How long's it been since you had work?
About a year and a half. I stay home with the kids.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond on the 2 charges relating to methamphetamine at $2,500 apiece, $1,000 on the paraphernalia. That's a total of $6,000. I'm going to have you back in court on January 15th. If you get out, Brenda, very important that you contact the public defender, okay?
And that's the 15th?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Charles Aaron? Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
5676.
Charles, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll point the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date to the 7th of January. The public defender is going to come see you before you go to court on the 7th, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Kevin Biavoski? Afternoon, Kevin. What's your date of birth?
10183.
Kevin, I got 2 charges today: possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
May I request a public defender,
Yes,
please?
you may. I'll appoint the PD. State.
An adjudication for paraphernalia from May of this year, 2 cases. Adjudication for petty theft, 2015 on Hernando. An action was dropped for grand theft, 2011 on Hernando. 3 counts burglary of a structure in 2011. Adjudications out of Hernando. Adjudication paraphernalia, 2011 out of Hernando. Adjudication driving while license suspended, 2011 out of Hernando. A withhold possession of cannabis, 2009. Adjudication paraphernalia, 2009 out of Hernando. And that's all I'm showing.
All right, Kevin, I have an address for you on Ceylon Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
I've been in that neighborhood for 25 years.
You got a job these days?
Yes, sir. Florida Sun Hops.
Okay. Kevin, I'll set your bond at $1,000 on each count. That's a total of $2,000. I'm going to have you back in court on January 15th. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender, okay?
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you. You bet. Ivory Joe Bivens. Hey, Ivory. How you doing?
Kind of aggravated.
I hear you. Date of birth, Ivory?
Christmas 79.
I got possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. Ivory, you want the public defender?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State, give me the last couple of years.
Showing he recently had an adjudication for criminal mischief in October here in Hernando. Adjudication paraphernalia 2018, DUI with property damage, and driving while license suspended. Seems like those are all the same case.
Yep.
Adjudication battery and petty theft, less than 100, 2018, where he got 78 days. Adjudication in 2017, criminal mischief, $200 or less. There was a VOP on that case and got 30 days. Adjudication 2013, battery. Adjudication 2010, resisting without. There was also a VOP on that case. Adjudication 2009 for battery, also a VOP on that case, did 6 months county jail. adjudication 2009, possession less than 20 grams, and gambling. There's more. Do you?
That's okay. No. Ivor, you still at Bethune Street?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there now?
Almost a year and a half.
Okay. And any work these days?
Mr. Hitzemann, I've been trying to keep a job at the same time. I keep getting, I've been trying. I do cut grass on the weekend.
Okay.
On the weekdays.
Okay. All right. What I'll do, Ivor Joe, on the marijuana, I'll set your bond at $500 on the paraphernalia at ROR, so your total's $500. All right?
So, how much that is to get out, bro?
Probably $100 through a bond.
Another case. God bless you, Mr. Hitzemann, man, because I really appreciate that.
All right. Ivor, you're going to come back on January 15th, okay?
Yeah, I don't never miss your court date.
All right. Very good.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Christopher Breton.
He bonded, Your Honor.
Oh, he bonded. That's awesome.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Maurizio Capelli.
He also bonded, Your Honor.
He did. It's a good day. How about Robert Garrity? Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth? This is Garrity.
Robert Garrity, 8/11/65, sir.
Okay. All right. I've got two warrants for you this morning, Robert. They're both signed by Judge Barbie. On the first one, he found probable cause for possession of controlled substance, sale of controlled substance, being in possession of a structure or place or conveyance for the sale or trafficking or manufacture of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. On the other warrant, he found probable cause for possession of controlled substance, sale of controlled substance, person in possession of place. So as to all those charges as probable cause, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, Your Honor.
I'm going to appoint the PD. State what you tell me.
Showing a withhold for sale or delivery of hydromorphone and Dilaudid in 2016 on a regard. An action was null pros in 2014 for trafficking. Out-of-state history of showing an adjudication for possession of controlled substances, 2003. Adjudication for grand larceny, 2006. Adjudication for possession of controlled substance in 2007. Possibly some history of stolen property, adjudications in the 1980s. Looks like some driving while license suspended charges, maybe 2013, but those appear to be dismissed. Those are also active.
Robert, I got an address for you on Pilgrim Walk in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes,
How long you been there?
6, 7 years.
You got a job these days?
No, I'm on SSI.
Okay. How long?
Currently, right now, the back is broken.
How long you been on SSI?
3 years.
Okay.
2 years, I'm sorry, 2 years, sir.
All right. Tell you what I'm going to do. You have a total 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cases. I'm going to set the bond at $2,000 on each of the 11 cases. That's a total of $22,000. They're all coming back on January 15th. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay?
What does that do for my bond, sir?
Well, the total is $22,000. It used to be a lot more than that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. Joshua Gleason. Afternoon, sir. Date of birth?
10/16/81.
Joshua, you're hearing a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for violation of community control. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. We'll send you back to see Judge Toner on the 15th of January. PD will come see you before that, all right?
All right.
Thank you.
Right here.
Bobby Hall.
Good morning, sir.
Afternoon, Bobby. Date of birth?
9/1989.
All right, Bobby, you got 2 counts grand theft. There's probable cause for each one of them. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Steve.
Showing an action was dropped for cannabis in 2016 out of Bradford. Adjudication for sheriff in 2016 out of Bradford. No driver's license, 2008 out of Pasco, no disposition. No motor vehicle registration, 2008 also out of Pasco, no disposition. Adjudication, burglary of an unoccupied structure, out of Pasco, 2008. And there's some extensive juvenile history as well. An adjudication for providing false names to law enforcement, 2007 out of Pinellas. And that's what I'm seeing here.
Bobby, I have an address for you on Petal Mist Lane in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
About 3 years.
All right. You got a job these days?
Yes, sir. Do landscaping.
All right. Set your bond at $1,000 in each count. That's a total of $2,000. We'll have you back January 15th. Make sure you contact the PD when you get out, okay?
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Richard Hadaway. Richard, what's your date of birth?
6/16/83.
Richard, the charge has failed to return leased property. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like to be public defender?
Public defender.
Appoint the public defender, Steve.
Adjudication for trespass, 2016 out of Hernando. Adjudication for loitering and prowling, 2016 out of Hernando. Adjudication possession of a controlled substance and paraphernalia, 2016 out of Hernando. An action was dropped for resisting without, 2015 out of Pasco. Adjudication battery, 2013 out of Hernando. Adjudication paraphernalia, 2013 out of Hernando. Adjudication driving a license suspended second, resisting without, and false name, 2013 out of Hernando. An action was dropped for battery in 2012 out of Hernando. Adjudication for introduction of contraband to the detention center and possession of a controlled substance, 2013 out of Hernando. Adjudication driving on license suspended second offense, 2012 out of Hernando. Another driving on license, quite a few more driving on license suspended charges.
Okay.
Withhold.
Richard, I got that Powell Road address in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
No, sir.
Where do you live now?
1417 Finland Drive.
Okay, how long have you been there?
4 years.
Do you have a job these days?
Not a state job, no.
We'll leave the bond at the $2,000. I'll have you back January 15th.
Great.
If you get out, make sure you contact the PD, okay?
Can you lower the bond?
No, we're going to leave it at the $2,000. Thank you.
Yeah.
David Martinez.
Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, David. What's your date of birth?
7/21/79.
We've got a warrant for you out of Citrus County. The judge had signed it, found probable cause for a VOP, and set the bond at no bond. I can't change that. We're going to let Citrus know you're here and ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. Doesn't take 5 with Citrus, but if for some strange reason you're still here 5 days from now, they'll bring you back to see me. We'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Sir.
Very good, thank you. Stephen Plotter. Stephen, what's your date of birth, Stephen?
2/21/1979, sir.
All right, Stephen, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a VOP. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Your Honor, I'd like a public defender if possible.
I'm appointing the public defender. Yes?
All right.
You have something
Yes.
else?
Yeah, yesterday I had a warrant for violating my probation, and, I planned on turning myself in after Christmas, but here's the thing, I went to the hospital for something unrelated, and they held me against my will there to get the cops there to, pick me up on the warrant. How are they allowed to do that?
I don't know.
That'll
That'll be
It's
something
on
for you
video.
to discuss with your public defender, Stephen, because
He has nothing to do with that. I mean, isn't that kind of unjust that the hospital is working with the sheriff's office and they can just hold people?
well, again,
What do they have to
I
do?
don't know all the facts, Stephen. I only know the warrant is here and now it's been served, and the bond is no bond, and I can't change that. And the PD is going to come see you. You'll be back in court on January 7th, and the PD is the person to discuss that with. Okay?
Well, isn't that unjust if you're, if the sheriffs or officers are holding people against, the hospital and working with the sheriff? How's that?
Stephen, I'm not going to get involved in it.
Kidnapping?
All right.
Stephen, this is a public defender. I'll tell you to seek advice from a civil attorney.
All right. Have a seat, sir.
Yeah.
Daquan Tyson.
What date do we give him?
I just watched a child molester go home. I can't go.
Mr. Tyson, what's your date of birth?
May 25th, 2000.
Mr. Tyson, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Barbie. He found probable cause for 4 counts. Strong arm robbery, burglary of a structure, tampering with a witness, and grand theft. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
A public offender, Your Honor.
I'll appoint the public defender, state.
Showing picked up a petty theft in November out of Hillsborough, so that's a juvenile. Looks like juvenile cases were adjudicated delinquent for carrying and concealed in May of this year. Acquitted for minor possession of a firearm in August of 2018. An action was dropped for loitering and prowling 2017. Also juvenile. PTI for resisting an officer without 2016, and PTI, well, it looks like 2 cases got PTI for resisting as juvenile.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Tyson, is it Waikiki Way in Tampa, your address?
Yes, sir.
All right. How long you live there?
All my life.
You have a job these days?
Yes, sir. I work on McDonald's on 78th Street in Palm River. I'm open crew member from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay. Hang on one second.
Just watch the child molester.
Okay. On the robbery, I'll set the bond at $5,000. On the burglary at $10,000. On the witness tampering at $2,000, and the grand theft at $2,000. That's a total of $19,000. You'll be back in court on the 15th of January. If you get out, Daquan, make sure that you contact the PD's office right away. Otherwise, they'll come see you at the jail. All right?
Yes, sir. Your Honor, with 10%, how much is that all in total?
The total was 19. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Robert Wright. Afternoon, Robert. What's your date of birth?
2/22/82, sir.
All right, Robert. I got 2 warrants for you. I think they were both signed by Judge. Well, one's a warrant that was signed by Judge Barbie, and the other one is a probable cause arrest for possession of crack cocaine and drug paraphernalia. The warrant is sale of crack cocaine, possession of cocaine, and drug paraphernalia. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
What you say, you can hire me a private counselor?
You can hire private counsel if you can afford it. If you can't, I'll appoint the PD.
PD?
All right, I'll appoint the PD. Robert, state what can you tell me?
There's an adjudication.
Sir, how many charges do I?
It's 5 total, Robert, but hang on one second, and I'll give you a chance and we'll talk, all right? Let me hear from the state attorney first.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Adjudication for possession of cocaine and cannabis, 2015 out of Hernando. Adjudication no valid driver's license, 2014 out of Hernando. Adjudication sale, manufacture, deliver, or possession with intent regarding cocaine. Possession of cocaine, 2009 out of Hernando. Adjudication for cannabis, 2008 out of Hernando, and action was dropped for battery, 2007 out of Hernando. Possession of cocaine, sale, manufacture, deliver, with intent, and multiple counts, 2001, those are adjudications. Actually, there's 5 cases regarding possession of cocaine and sale, manufacture, all out of Hernando, 2001. Null frauds for aggravated battery on a pregnant person, 2001. Adjudication for sale, substance, 2001. 1, 2, 3 more cases regarding possession of cocaine and sale, also 2001 adjudication. There's grand theft. There's more in the 90s regarding drugs and grand theft and speeding to elude.
That's okay. All right. Robert, I got an address on Peach Street. Is that where you live?
Where?
Peach Street?
No, sir, I don't have an address, sir.
Okay. You been staying with friends or something?
I've been sleeping outside, sir,
Okay. How long you been outdoors?
since I left spring break.
Okay. How long is that?
That was the beginning of this month.
Okay.
I've been Baker acted from your Judge Ned signed the warrant.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think
Do you have a job these days, Robert?
no, sir.
Okay.
I was trying to plead incompetent.
Okay. Well, that's going to be something to talk to the public defender about. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So on the new arrest, the possession of cocaine with intent within 1,000 feet, I'm going to leave that at 10,000, and on the paraphernalia at 1,000. On the warrant, the sale, I will leave at 5,000. The possession at 2,000 and the paraphernalia at 1,000. So that is a total all the way around 11 and 8 of 19,000. These are all coming back to court on the 15th of January. Robert, if you don't find out, the public defender is going to come see you, and that's the person to talk to about your mental health issues, okay?
All right, so you say my bond will collect be 1,900?
Well, that depends on the bondsman. That's right.
All right.
Okay? Thank you, Robert.
All right.
Anybody else there, Jail?
No, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.